Hey, you wanna play some Modern or Magic Online?
Sure, where do I find it on Arena?
Oh no, it's not on Arena, it's on Magic Online.
What's Magic Online?
You haven't heard of it?
No, I haven't.
It's Magic's older client where you can play sweet older formats. Here, let me show you.
Alright.
A few moments later.
So you want me to go from this to this?
I mean, and what other format are you gonna get killed by Neo Brand on turn 1?
Ugh, how does this client work?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So, are you stuck in quarantine and have nothing better to do than play Magic all day? Now, I'm sure you've been playing Magic Arena, but have you heard of Magic's older client, Magic Online? After previously being $10, WotC has made Magic the Gathering Online free for everybody. But the real question is, why would you even play this over Magic Arena? It's not as video gamey or flashy or something like that. Well, simple. Magic Online gives you access to Magic's older formats such as Modern, Pioneer, Legacy, and even Vintage. You can also participate in a rotating cube that Moto does. One of the biggest cons to Moto, as some people might think, is that it's not more of a video game, but more of like a simulator, right? More of a simulation type thing. Well, as long as you can play awesome formats like Modern, Legacy, and Cube, you can honestly try to look past that and try to find the good things in Moto. So, in this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know how to get started in Magic Online. So, this is the title screen, and there's nothing really much here. You just have your login information, occasionally like a little blurb about what's happening, like rotating cubes. You put your login, username, and password, you log in, and let's check out what you have inside. So, this is the home page on Magic Online. There are a few things that I need to go over here, so let's go through them one by one. The first and most prominent is the Features Events tab. This includes the most recent sets, sealed leagues, draft leagues, and a quick play option. You can also access the most recent featured event here. You can also find this in the limited tab, and this is occasionally something like a cube or a flashback draft, for example. Premier Events tab is mostly home to the MOCs, or Magic Online Championship Series. You enter these by getting MOCs points by competing in leagues and stuff like that, and they occasionally cost tickets as well. We also have buddies. Buddies is the friends list on Magic Online. You can add a buddy by both going to this add buddy button at the top and then typing each other's names. Once in there, you guys are both added as a buddy and you can do multiple things that I'll mention later on in this video. Buddies are mainly good in Commander games where you have options like buddies only, where only buddies can join you. So, now that we're done with our homepage, let's go over to the Collection tab. This tab is where you can see all the cards and other products that your Moto account owns. The Decks and Binders tab is the most essential part of Magic Online. This is where you can create and modify decks and binders to trade and play with. You can create a deck by first choosing the format and then pressing Add Deck. Once you're there, you can either import a .deck file that one of the trading sites gives you, I'll explain more of that later, or you can start making a deck from scratch. If you want to make a deck from scratch, just title it and let's begin. You can create a deck by choosing the format you want, and then you can either import a file you get from a site, or you can just name it if you want to make a deck from scratch. You then choose the deck box, and you're off to the races. If you get a .deck file from a site like Card Hoarder, the card should load in automatically. If you're making a deck from scratch, you just search up the name of the card, and you can either drag the copies in one by one, or you can right-click and select Add 4. If you have a card in your deck but not in your collection, it will be a yellow and black border, and there will be a yellow triangle with a black exclamation point next to the deck name, kind of like this. If you have a card in your collection but the deck has a wrong edition of the card's border will be highlighted green and black, and there will be a green and black triangle with a black asterisk next to the name, kind of like this. This pretty much only happens if you import a .deck file and the file has the wrong edition. Just swap it out for the version you have and you'll be all good. Trade binders are mainly when you want to sell cards to a bot. To create a binder, just click Add Binder, and then you can do the same thing as if you were to make a deck from scratch. Just drag the cards from your collection by searching them in the search bar into the trade binder. When you start trading with a bot or another person, you'll be prompted to choose which binder you want to trade from. That means just select this binder, and you'll only see the cards from the binder that you're interested in. It won't show any other cards in your collection. The Other Products tab is where all of your, other products are. You can find things like trophies, chests, booster packs, but I'm going to go over the two most important, which are event tickets and play points. Play points are what you get as a reward for finishing an event. Each 10 play points is worth about 1 event ticket in the sense that you need 100 play points to enter a league and you need 10 event tickets. They're untradeable and basically what are given out as prizes. Event tickets are Magic Online's main form of currency. You can buy them all from the store for 1 tick a piece, and they're mainly used for trading with other bots and retail sites. For example, a site will ask for X tickets for 1 card. They can also be used to enter tournaments. Next up, we have the Constructed tab. This is where you can enter tournaments in our 6 main constructed formats: Standard, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, and Pauper. At a glance, there are 4 different ways to enter each tournament. I'll go over them all for you. Leagues are the main way that people play in Magic Online. These cost 10 event tickets or 100 play points to enter, and you play 5 matches with your deck. Here's the prize payout for each record you can go in a 5-match league. See how going 3-2 basically earns you your entry fee back, and going 4-1 or 5-0 is just profit? That's what I'm talking about, how going infinite, how some players can just play forever for essentially free. 2-player queues are perhaps the most simple. 2 people either put in 2 tickets or 20 play points. They play a best of 3 match, and the winner gets 30 play points and the loser gets 5. Tournament practice is exactly what it sounds like. 2 players enter, they play a match for no prizes on the line, and they just play for fun. Open play is pretty much the same, but there aren't as high level decks in the open play. If you're looking around for a messy, fun brew, or you just build cards out of your collection, open play is where you should go. Commander is also available like this. There are also 2-player ticketed brawl queues, but I've honestly never seen anyone do those. The main Commander lobby is Commander Open Play. People will often write little sentences on their game about what power level they are. You can join the game specifically by clicking the Join Game tab on the right, or you can just do a quick join at the bottom, or you can create your own. When you create your own, you have options like doing 3 to 4 players or just 2. You can do buddies only, and you can allow watchers or not, and you can also do your own little comment section on your game of what power level you want, no mass land destruction, no stacks, etc. There are also a bunch of niche formats down here in this specialty tab. Freeform tournament practice is mainly just penny dreadful leagues, which is actually quite an enjoyable format, and I suggest you try it out. Feel free to explore all these specialty formats on your own. The next tab is Limited tab. This is where you'll find, well, all the limited events. The Draft tab is where you find all your drafts. This is where you can find drafts from the most recent standard set, as well as the set before that, and often a featured cube or flashback draft. A draft queue is where you pay the entry fee, get in a queue for drafting, and then draft your deck. After that, you play 3 matches, and you find out whoever is looking for games. That means that if you're in a cube where it's normally singleton, you can find people who have the same cards as you in a draft league. So say you want to play in a 8-player pod and you don't want to stray away from them, you just want to play with those 8 people. That's where you go for Elimination Draft. In this, you play 3 matches max. If you win the first one, you get your entry fee back, and so on and so forth. Here's the prize payout right here. However, if you lose any games at all, then you are out and you don't have any more games to play. That means that if you go 0-1, that's it. You can't play any more games with your deck you just drafted. Sealed is the same kind of thing. So you may be looking at these events and you may be wondering, what does Phantom Draft mean? Well, Phantom Draft is just shorthand for you don't get to keep the cards you draft. While this may sound disadvantageous, some formats like cubes most often are always Phantom Draft because they can't really be giving out those cards for some reason. While the pricing is the same, Phantom Drafts always have a lower cost to enter because you don't get to keep the cards that you draft. For example, the Modern Horizons flashback draft that happened, 25 tickets to enter a non-Phantom, 10 tickets to enter a Phantom. If you're looking to find the cards, maybe get the Jackpot Renaissance, go for it. But if you just want to play and experience the format, Phantom Draft is where you should go. The last tab we have in Limited is Gauntlet. This is where the new player events are held. If you just sign up for a Moto account, you get 20 new player points. Use these. They cost 3 new player points to enter and you get 20, which means you can do 6 of these total. Now, onto the store. There are a few main things you should buy. Tickets are obviously the most important. We talked about this earlier. $1 per ticket, use as tournament entries, currency, etc. Deck Builder's Toolkit is basically useless. Don't buy the Deck Builder's Toolkit. It's $5 for, I think, 2 ticks and a bunch of random standard commons and uncommons. Just buy the cards you need for your decks. Now, booster packs cost $4, which is the same as they're on paper for some weird reason. If you want to buy a booster pack, you should mainly use it to enter drafts. However, it is 3 booster packs and 2 event tickets per draft, which means you're spending $14 as opposed to $12. To be fair, you could just try to crack a lucky Uro or Teferi. Planeswalker decks, don't buy them. The Brawl decks aren't a horrible value because the commanders themselves are worth a little bit of money, but unless you're looking into Brawl instead of Commander, don't buy these. You can also pick up a Momir Basic starter deck. I haven't really tried this format, but it does seem pretty fun. You also get a few Guru lands in there, so that's pretty neat. You may be wondering what redemption is. So if you have 1 copy of each card in a set from Magic Online, for example, 1 copy of each card from Theirs Beyond Death, you can pay $25 and all those cards will be taken out of your inventory and Wizards of the Coast will actually send you a full paper set. I don't know how coronavirus is affecting this, but it's something to keep in mind. Occasionally, Wizards also gives out codes to redeem things like 1 of each unstable basic land. If you're lucky enough to find some of these codes, this is where you redeem them. The trade tab is pretty self-explanatory. At this point it's mainly just bots, but if you want to go and sell off some of your cards for some tickets, you can look at the trade tab. So, buying cards. There are two main sites that you use for this. You can use Card Hoarder or MTGO Traders. The real only difference is that I can see is that Card Hoarder has a $10 minimum for PayPal while MTGO Traders has only $3, but you can just look at the cards you want and see which site has cheaper prices. The other and most popular way for getting Magic Online cards is by renting them. There are currently two main MTGO rental services between Card Hoarder and Mana Traders. These two are very different and can honestly warrant an entire video on their own, but I'm gonna go over a quick breakdown. Mana Traders has 4 different plans available. Each one of these plans has a ticket limit that you can check out, as well as mana hours. What are mana hours, you may ask? Well, I'm gonna read straight from Mana Traders' website. 1 mana hour is 1 ticket in value per hour. For example, if you have a 1 ticket card rented out for 1 hour, then you use 1 mana hour. If you have a deck that is worth 350 tickets and you rent for 5 hours, you use 750 mana hours. This is presumably so people can rent the cards and then give them back as soon as possible so other people have to rent them too. While this is annoying, I kinda get why they get it. Card Hoarder, while being slightly more expensive, is also much more flexible. Card Hoarder doesn't have any mana hours. What you do is you choose an amount, so say 200 tickets, and then you pay 3% of that amount per week. So I could rent out up to 200 tickets worth of cards and I would pay $6 a week. For example, if you need an amount in between 100 and 350 ticks, Card Hoarder has you covered. The only site I've used between these is Card Hoarder, and I've had a pleasant experience with them so far, but I've also heard that Mana Traders is quite a good site as well, so I may make a video on this coming up. The final thing I will mention is that Card Hoarder offers a 4-ticket free bot credit for new players. That means that if you just start out your Moto account, you can go over to Card Hoarder and get essentially $4 free from them in their bot credit. This can be used to buy even an entire commander deck. They're that cheap on Magic Online. If you're just starting out, be sure to do this and pick up some cards. And that's about it for today's video. If this video helped you out at all, be sure to smack a like on it and subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, if you have any questions, anything I missed, leave it all down in the comments below. Also, Twitter, Twitch, TCG player affiliate links are all in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.